Hello, friends from across the nation and around the world. I'm Martin, and you are listening to another chapter from Dad's Anytime Stories. Today, we're headed back to the penultimate, the second last chapter in the Cards of Power Volume 1 series that we've been headed through so far. Chapter 16. It came from, actually, a lot of listeners. I put a lot of listener ideas into this one when I did it originally on Dad's Bedtime Stories. So first of all, thank you to Ryan and Sawyer, who both wanted another Gatekeeper battle. Thank you to Logan, who suggested a Megalodon with water powers. That's a pretty cool idea. Thank you to Harrison, who asked for an Ice Cheetah. And thank you to Rowan from Ontario, who suggested a Dolphin Power Card. If you like the podcast, don't forget to rate it and review it wherever you're listening. That goes a really long way. And if you want ad-free episodes, you can check them out on Patreon. The link should be in the show description. It's the Patreon for both Dad's Anytime Stories and Dad's Bedtime Stories, so you get both entirely ad-free, posted as soon as I put them there, as well as some bonus content and that sort of thing. Now, after I finish the 17th chapter of Cards of Power, in the, next time I put out an episode, we'll be taking a short break while we get ready for Season 2, which will be Wizardcraft 2.0, a world where the main character named Oliver gets sucked into a video game and has to survive. But if you really like Cards of Power, we'll be back to that eventually. I've already done 70-something episodes, I believe, on Dad's Bedtime Stories, and I am right now, as we speak, working on Book 2. Maybe it's already out by the time you listen to this, honestly. We will come back for another season of Cards of Power in the future because of that. But now, time for the story. Chapter 16, The Second Gatekeeper. Carter woke up in the hotel once again. He stretched, rubbed his eyes, and looked down at Magnus still curled up on the foot of the bed. "Well, buddy," Carter said, "I think we might have everything we need to go battle a Gatekeeper." "Oh, yeah," Magnus replied, lifting his head with a slow stretch. "Good point. We probably should do that, and if we pass, we get to pick another prize." Carter grinned. "I almost forgot about the prize part." The two headed down the elevator to the lobby, where the scent of a hotel breakfast buffet hit them with full force. Carter made his way over, grabbed a bit of everything he liked, and sat down to eat. Once he was full, he wandered over to the front desk. "Excuse me," he asked. "I think I'm ready to challenge one of the intermediate gatekeepers. Can you give me directions?" "Of course," the receptionist replied. "Just follow any of the paths through the intermediate area until you reach the far side. On the other side, you'll find a large castle. Castletown, many call it. That's where you need to go." Castletown. Got it. Let's go, Magnus. They made their way outside and toward the edge of the intermediate area. Carter summoned his energy wings and floated gently into the air, Magnus flying beside him on his own wings. They soared above the landscape, watching the different biomes of the intermediate area spread wide like slices of pie. But the land eventually began to narrow again, funneling into a single point. A massive castle loomed ahead, its towers rising over the narrowing path. They landed in front of its gates just in time to see a drawbridge lower slowly. A group of people in bright white suits stood waiting on the other side. "Hi there," Carter greeted one of them. "I'm here to challenge the intermediate gatekeeper. I want to see if I'm ready to enter the advanced area." "Understood," the man said, handing him a stack of papers. "Sign these. They're liability waivers just in case things do not go well." Carter skimmed through and signed at the bottom. "Thanks." "Proceed through the door and take the elevator. At the top, you'll find your challenger. Remember, only 3 cards at a time, powers or magical creatures, no exceptions." "Got it." Carter stepped into the elevator. It rose quickly, and when the doors opened, he found himself on a beach. Or at least, it looked like a beach. Sky above, sand below, and a shimmering ocean to the side. A strange door opened in midair at the far side of the room, and through it stepped a familiar-looking figure, part T-Rex, part humanoid. "Rex?" Carter asked. The creature shook its head. "I'm not Rex. I'm Tex, his older brother, and I've got a thing or two to teach that guy. And you." "All right, teach away." Tex summoned a glowing card from his core. It transformed into energy and swirled through the air before solidifying into a powerful creature. A blue and black Ice Cheetah, cold mist swirling around its form. "I'm not sure this is the right matchup for you, Magnus," Carter said. "Don't even think about putting me in a card," Magnus snapped. "I've got this." Magnus glowed and began to grow. His body expanded and radiated heat until he stood in his evolved form. A medium-sized dragon blazing with magma-like fire. "You sure about this?" Carter asked. "You're fire and that thing's ice." "Doesn't matter. Watch this," Magnus said. Magnus ignited every part of his body, then unleashed a torrent of fire from his head, hands, wings, tail, even his stomach. The twisted streams of flame surged through the Ice Cheetah, striking it dead center, but it barely flinched. A pillar of water erupted from the ocean, then slammed down on Magnus, knocking him back across the beach. "Okay, maybe I could use some help," Magnus admitted, brushing sand from his scales. Carter considered his options. "I think I've got the perfect combo." He summoned the Grass Bunny and Lightning Tiger. The 2 allies appeared, nodded to each other, and sprang into action. The bunny leapt high, summoning waves of vines from the earth, and wrapped tightly around the Ice Cheetah. As it struggled to break free, the Lightning Tiger unleashed a bolt of energy that surged through the vines and struck the cheetah. The creature fell to the ground and reformed into a card. Tex grunted. "Guess I won't hold back anymore." He summoned 2 new cards. One became a massive Megalodon in the ocean, the other a cheerful-looking dolphin beside it. The water stirred, rising into swirling pillars before hundreds of high-pressure streams shot out in every direction. Carter's team was blasted backward, and then encased in thick layers of ice. Tex smirked. "Looks like this round's over." But then something pulsed inside the ice. A burst of flame erupted outward, sending shards flying and freeing the trapped creatures. Magnus rose, furious, glowing hotter than ever before. "You're not freezing me again," he growled. He shot into the air and dove like a meteor into the ocean, sending waves crashing in every direction. The water began to evaporate. Steam filled the air. In moments, the entire ocean was gone, leaving behind 2 flopping sea creatures gasping on dry sand. "Now!" Magnus shouted. The Lightning Tiger and Grass Bunny struck in perfect unison. bolts of lightning and swirling vines lashing down upon the helpless creatures. Magnus followed up with a final blast of flame, and soon both the dolphin and the Megalodon were out cold, returning to card form. Tex nodded. "You've got what it takes. I didn't think a fire type could beat those water cards. You really must be powerful." He tossed Carter a glowing keycard. Carter caught it. The card pulsed with light and flew into his chest, merging with his card core. Tex gestured toward the open door. "Choose your prize wisely, kid. If I were you, I'd think about powering up that dragon." "Thanks. I'll take that into consideration." Carter stepped into the elevator beyond the battle chamber. It carried him down into a glittering prize room. Cards, magical objects, books, and treasures lining every shelf. But one item stood out. A massive glowing red stone like his last evolution stone, only bigger. "A legendary firestone?" Magnus breathed. That could evolve me to my legendary form." Carter didn't hesitate. He picked up the stone. The elevator doors reopened, lifting them a short distance into Castletown. Walls rose high on all sides, surrounding a beautiful settlement filled with futuristic hotels, markets, and card shops. "This is amazing," Carter said. "Yeah, but not as amazing as what I'm gonna be like," Magnus replied, staring at the firestone. Carter laughed. "Why don't we wait till morning? Let's check out the hotel first." "Ah, man." Inside the hotel was even fancier than expected. Polished marble floors, tuxedoed staff, and glittering chandeliers. A porter offered to carry them both upstairs, but Carter politely declined. They were handed a diamond-like keycard and took a glass elevator to the 4th floor. The room was enormous, practically a house. A full kitchen, 2 bedrooms, a huge living room. Carter barely made it to the bedroom before collapsing into a bed. Magnus devolved into his dragonling form and curled up between Carter's legs.